Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. If this is indeed the first time that I've been given the pleasure to connect with you, my name is Vanessa Somuayina and I would like to welcome you into the fam. My beautiful unicorn family, in today's Pick a Card tarot reading, we will be uncovering all of the unexpected surprises coming for you. And whether you're here because you love the chill vibes of my channel as well as being within a super open-minded and supportive community, or you are in fact a diehard tarot and oracle card enthusiast, I assure you that you will find support, healing, as well as some entertainment in uncovering all the unexpected surprises that are coming towards you with me right here, right now. And in order to help you figure out exactly what's coming towards you, I have 4 groups prepared for you. And I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively in order to receive your psychic reading. So simply pick whichever one that you instantly connect with. Group number 1 corresponds to the Mystic Mondays Tarot deck, as well as the following sound. Group number 2 corresponds to the Spirit Animal Oracle deck, as well as the following sound. Group number 3 corresponds to the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck, as well as the following sound. And group number 4 corresponds to the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck, as well as the following sound. As you know, the timestamps to all 4 groups can be found down below in the description box, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section. So all you need to do is select one of these 4 groups, click your timestamp, and you'll be fast forwarded to the relevant portion of this video. I will now provide you with a little moment of privacy to meditate on the 4 groups in case you have not been able to choose one just yet, and I'll be back momentarily to guide you into your readings. Okay, by now you've hopefully been able to select one of these 4 groups. I will be starting off your readings with the first group, which corresponds to the Mystic Mondays Tarot deck. So if this is the group that you chose, then please continue watching, and I will catch all of my other beautiful groups at the click of your timestamps. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading on all of the unexpected surprises that are coming towards you. You chose the Mystic Mondays Tarot deck in order to help guide you. Let's get straight into your reading. I highly recommend that you relax, that you find yourself in a reclined or at least a comfortable position, and just take a deep breath in with me right now. And sigh it all out. Allow for all of the weight, anxiety, or stress that you've been carrying around with you to just dissipate, at least for the duration of your reading. So let's start off with our first cards. We've got the Princess of Wands, the 4 of Swords, as well as the 8 of Wands. So I can see some interesting surprises coming towards you here. In the Princess of Wands, we've got a fire sign because the Suit of Wands corresponds to the element of fire in the tarot, and this element is filled with creativity and passion. With the Princess, I can see here that this is someone who is young, who looks up to you, who sees you as a role model. And I do want you to know here within the 4 of Swords that it comes as a really big surprise to you that this person wants to be just like you. So group 1, they may be a younger sibling, a friend who is younger than you are. They could be a niece or a nephew, you name it. But they are definitely looking up to you and they want to become just like you as quickly as possible. I see that here within the 8 of Wands. And this comes as a shock because you hadn't realized just how much forward movement that you have been able to make within the last months and years of your life, and to see people look up to you and see you as a role model. On one hand, in the 4 of Swords, it definitely causes some overthinking. It definitely is causing you a little bit of stress and anxiety. No pressure, right? Being a role model, but at the same time, it's definitely also something that you're ready for and prepared to do, group number 1. So don't be afraid of it. Furthermore, in the Princess of Wands, the 4 of Swords, and the Eight of Wands, I can see that you're kind of underestimating your abilities to a certain degree as well, which is why it is so essential for you to take some trips down memory lane and just remind yourself how you may have dreamt, wished, and pleaded to be where you are today, say 5 years ago, right? You have done a lot of things that you should be proud of. I see here within the Knight of Wands that there's this change from the Princess of Wands to the Knight of Wands, this emancipation, growth, and maturing that is taking place here. The less you kind of feel as though you just have to gloss over the successes that you've had, because that is definitely one thing that I see here with the Princess of Wands, Four of Swords, and Eight of Wands, this quick forward movement, this glossing over things that you've actually done really well, and just not giving yourself enough credit, not taking credit where credit is due. Meanwhile, we have people out here who are taking credit left and right for work that they didn't even commit to, okay? So for you to take credit for projects or work that you have like worked your butt off for, group number one, that is completely valid and so necessary at this point in time. And you are definitely going to feel super shocked and surprised when you actually think of the amount of times you've passed up on celebrating your personal success. I see here within the King of Swords that you will be inspired by an air sign, someone who is older, more mature than you, as the suit of swords corresponds to the element of air. So think a Gemini, an Aquarius, or a Libra. In the King of Swords, know that they are someone who is really cutthroat, very honest, and yes, they can be nice and helpful, but at the same time, they know when to say no. And this is a quality that you need to learn. And this is definitely something that will surprise you when you think of the people who you feel very much inspired by and how they operate. They most likely have a tight schedule and they have to say no to a lot of people. And this is something you need to learn and understand. And I can see here in the King of Swords that chances are also pretty high that you will receive a surprise visit by an air sign. And this surprise visit may be a digital one, but maybe also a physical one if you're lucky or you're able to do so. I can see when it comes to letters of their name, we've got V as well as M. So I'll just put that right here on the King of Swords for you. And once again, they don't have to be a male necessarily. They just exude this type of king energy that is a no BS type of energy. We've got this dinosaur as well as this deer or elk. So with the dinosaur, do know here that compared to you, they are quote unquote ancient, group number one. Okay, they are a lot older than you. They have lived long before you. And here within this beautiful deer or stag, we actually have these leadership qualities that they have been able to cultivate for years and years prior to being where they are now, where you look up to them, where you see them as a role model. So remind yourself here that a lot of these people or individuals who you find inspiring, surprisingly, they did not build all of their success overnight. And it's important for you to remember that you don't need to do that either, okay? You don't need to set the bar or the standards for yourself even higher than your idols did. Remind yourself here that a lot of times these success stories or these people who seem as though they are an overnight success, it's not really an overnight situation that took place. It is actually, in fact, an accumulation of years or decades of hard work, motivation, and ambition that all of a sudden got noticed by the general public and picked up by the general public. And so it seems as though someone is an overnight success, but they've actually been working on things for a really long time. Just think to yourself, musicians and artists who have been practicing their craft and in their craft for years before they actually make a big breakthrough. And it's not as though they're an overnight success, right? They have been working hard within their craft for a long time before the general public notice, and you have to be really good at your craft before you will ever find that recognition through external sources or that external validation. But of course, don't base your worth or how good that your work is on external validation, because if you are a super very unique person, an artist, then it may take a little more believing in yourself to get your message out there, as there aren't many people out there who are like you or who have the same style. Just put the little butterfly back over here. So next up, we've got the Chariot. So I can see that as an unexpected surprise, we've just got a lot of speed and velocity at which your life is moving forward. We've got that in the Eight of Wands as well as the Chariot, which indicate forward movement. Furthermore, we also have a rhino depicted within the Chariot, which is a symbol of strength and also a lot of charismatic energy, a lot of energy that shows here that even if people say you can't do it, you've got the discipline and determination to break through boundaries. Also societal boundaries, cultural boundaries, financial boundaries, whether you are from a social or economic background that is not exactly privileged, or you have had some things handed to you, I can see that you are just as much in a position for success, no matter what type of background you're coming from, Group 1. Next up, we've got the Two of Acorns. So the Two of Acorns shows me here that you do run risk of kind of spreading yourself too thin, and I can see that surprisingly you will have to make a lot of choices a lot sooner than you wanted to. And this also has to do with romantic relationships and overall connections to other people. You will have to decide with whom you move forward, and you will definitely have to let go of some people who are simply distracting you. So if there is a lover that is constantly hot and cold, or a friend who just brings drama to the table all the time, you will find that as soon as you cut those cords, that forward movement will just accelerate even more than it's already destined to, and you will wish that you had cut these people loose way sooner. But life is all about learning and experiencing things and allowing for lessons to unfold the way that they have to for you, specifically, Group number 1. So don't be so hard on yourself when it comes to keeping some people around you for way longer than you probably should have. Next up, we've got the King of Acorns. So the King of Acorns is one of those people who you need to remove yourself from. I can see that you're making yourself feel a lot smaller because of this person, and it'll be a big surprise when you let go of this connection and when you kind of escape from this person and you're no longer surrounded by their energy, you're no longer surrounded by the type of vibration that they put out into the world. The King of Acorns, this may be a boss or a business partner, a family member who just overall is kind of pompous, really impulsive, and just simply doesn't know how to be nice, emotionally speaking. They don't have a lot of emotional intelligence. I can see here that when it comes to letters within their name or place of employment, we've got R as well as O. And remember that they have Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries energy, and it's just not serving you right now. That doesn't mean that they are a bad person, Group number 1. It just simply means that that is just not the type of energy that you're thriving around at this very moment. And sometimes work environments or romantic relationships can become very toxic, and you need to find the right moment to kind of butt out in order to not work yourself to the bone or end up staying for so long that it eats away at your self-confidence. You don't want that. So we've got some rejection going on here, okay, and it will surprise you at how quickly you will be able to eject and reject this situation, because your whole body is going to tell you that this isn't right for you and that you need to move forward and move into a different space with your life. You can't be around any type of toxic masculinity, especially. The King of Acorns is a phallic king, which means a masculine king, as the suit of acorns corresponds to the element of fire, which is that masculine energy. So once you've gotten rid of that, I can see here that you will be able to do a lot of reflection. And surprisingly, you will find that you are way more determined and way more deserving than you've ever given yourself credit for. So when you cut loose of these naysayers or just people who who simply don't believe in you as much as they should, as much as would be healthy, as much as you deserve for people to believe in you. You will see everything from a way clearer standpoint, because I definitely do want you to know here within reflection, the Two of Acorns and the Chariot, that during the time in which you are somehow connected to a person who is making you feel like your emotions aren't valid or making you feel like you're not as deserving as you truly are, you will find it very hard to see your reflection accurately. And if you suffer from body dysmorphia or depression or any type of mental illness that can cause you to not properly see yourself or not see yourself from a rather objective standpoint, then this is definitely a healthy decision for you to make, to remove yourself from people who just heighten anxiety or gaslight you to the point where you feel like you don't really know who to trust and you don't trust yourself fully anymore. Next up, we've got the Rosemary. So I can see here that some of the big surprises coming for you are some memories that are coming back to you. And I want to figure out exactly what these memories have to do with group number one, so I can give you more information and maybe you'll be a little less surprised. I mean, I guess that's what we're here for today, right? We've got the bowl as well as the staff. So in the bowl, I can see here that you will have some memories coming to you of a time where you were acquiring a lot of new material possessions, and it kind of did make you feel better about yourself. I see that here in the staff. So you have this nostalgic feeling to it, but I also see that you are reminded of the fact that when you really felt down or ill, when you came down with a cold or flu, the only thing that really mattered in that moment was the immaterial world, right? The people surrounding you, your health, your life, all of these things that you can't really put a price tag on. So for some reason, these memories will be triggered and you're going to think about them with more depth, as well as just a little bit more time and devotion as you're asking yourself big questions such as what your life's purpose is, what really matters to you, and what you want to do moving forward. Because of course, if you're thinking of cutting ties with people, maybe even work colleagues or bosses, which means switching jobs or switching majors in school, you have to ask yourself what you're doing moving forward and what really matters the most, and whether material things are everything to you or how important they are to you, and whether moving forward your new place will be able to provide what you need in order to be happy, because we're all so different. In the geranium, we've got so much healing coming towards you, my beautiful souls of group one. The unexpected surprise, which is kind of funny that it's unexpected, but it is showing up in your reading as unexpected, is just how much healing you're going to get out of this situation of rejecting anyone who belittles you, mistreats you, or makes you feel as though you're their punching bag or doormat. You feel as though cutting that tie is a scary thing or like you're doing something wrong, but group one, no, the healing you're going to get from that, the happiness, the internal peace, it is truly irreplaceable. I can see here within the haystack that you've got to remember, coming from a place of love and simply cutting ties and quitting relationships because you know it's healthier for you as well as the other person, for you to enforce your boundaries and for the other person to finally experience what it's like when someone stands up to them. That is a good thing. That will create karma where you reap what you have sown. When you set those boundaries, you will reap a situation in which your boundaries are finally respected. That is what's coming towards you moving forward. And of course, the people who maybe did you wrong and were unable to respect your boundaries, they too will reap what they have sown. So try to forget any fantasies of revenge, or let's put it this way, keep any revenge fantasies just that, fantasies. Don't act on them, because you simply don't want to put yourself in that frame of mind or that energetic frequency, because you will attract more of that to you and you won't like what would come back when you seek revenge. I can see here within the seahorse that your family will tell you that karma is going to do its job. If someone has done you wrong, allow for karma to take over the situation and to deal with them, to handle them, group number one. It is not up to you to get your hands dirty or to feel as though you have to be the one intervening or teaching them how to do better. You are simply being called to heal, to allow for more amazing surprises to be revealed to you and to enjoy them, rather than feel as though you have to get even with another person. That's a very difficult place to be in. That is an unnecessarily stressful and low energetic state for you to put yourself in. Next up, we've got the Kabbalah of the Tree of Life. So I can see here in the Kabbalah Tree of Life that life lessons will be integrated seamlessly, and that's exactly what's happening with healing and allowing for karma to do its job. Simply knowing that if someone is not a nice person, karma will do its job. You don't have to get your hands dirty at all. And in Vesica Pisces, I can see here that you've got this divine feminine around you, which will surprise you. So someone will be announcing a surprise pregnancy or that they're giving birth soon. I can see here that we've got this unexpected feminine force coming towards your life very soon, and it's going to feel like a gift. And that is also another reason why you're thinking about what truly matters to you, whether it is material possessions or whether it's your health, your family, your well-being, and you're asking yourself those fundamental questions of who you want to be in this lifetime and what type of mark you'd like to leave in the world. Next up, we've got the Ouroboros. I absolutely love this symbol of the snake eating its own tail. It is such a beautiful symbol of infinity, eternity, and past life. I want you to know here within Ouroboros that what's coming through to you, group one, is understanding that this lifetime that you're living right now is actually so small and in a way also very insignificant, right? In a way, we're all super insignificant because the world has been here for millions of years before we came to inhabit it, and it will most likely still be here for millions of years thereafter. Our lifespans, which are often in the 2 digits, some of us are lucky enough to live to 3 digits. I mean, it's really just a speck in time. And I'm just talking about planet Earth. Just think about for how long the universe and other planets and galaxies have existed for. So I see here within Ouroboros that you understand that you have this lifetime to live your best life, and that now is the time to do so unapologetically. While you may have this feeling that there is such a thing as afterlife, or that your energy is going to be still part of the universe, whether you are in this body or you've moved on in 100 years, I want you to know here within the Ouroboros that of course shouldn't take away from you leading and living your best life now. And remind yourself here that if you put the type of energy that you feel inspired by out there, that can live on for a very, very long time, for eternity. Just think to yourself all of the leaders in this world, all of the amazing philanthropists who have not only preached kindness, but just brought kindness into this world and have created ripple effects where people then use those teachings, or people use those healing practices such as yoga, such as meditation, such as just simply being a nice person and helping your neighbors wherever you can. And these are things that can be passed down for lifetimes, for infinity, right? So in a way, life is so insignificant, but on the other hand, life can also leave this ripple effect that lasts for way longer than a single lifetime. Moving on, we've got the Anunnaki, and I find this a very, very interesting extraterrestrial type of life form. This is one where there are some conflicts of interest that are going on. So when this card shows up, I want you to know here that some unexpected surprises coming towards you definitely have to do with a little bit of drama, okay? And this drama coming from Anunnaki comes from a place where your wants and needs are very different from another person's wants and needs. So there is some friction there. There is a little bit of pain, a little bit of anger, as well as resentment. So I want to figure out exactly what that is about and also why you're so surprised about it. We've got the kite. Okay, so this has to do with a vacation. If you haven't been able to actually come to an agreement with another person about a vacation, then you know exactly what this is about. But furthermore, the vacation also has to do with you maybe needing a vacation and not being able to take one because we have this toxic work or school situation going on where you know exactly that it's just not right. You need to be free. You can't be chained and bound like we have here. In this chain of events that will affect your life, I can see that the big point of friction is definitely the fact that you will not be controlled, not in this lifetime, not in any other lifetime. And some people simply do not want to understand that and do not want to take that seriously. But that is really their problem because I can see that you're moving forward anyways. The 4-leaf clover is all about great and amazing fortune. So know that following your heart and following what feels right is in the end going to lead you to good fortune. And this pregnancy announcement, or just this announcement of an increase of divine feminine energy, is laced and surrounded by good fortune. So consider this pregnancy, birth, an increase of a divine feminine energy to actually be a very healthy situation, to be a healthy child, a healthy birth, and someone exploring their divine femininity and all that it's capable of, being guided by a lot of amazing fortune. Furthermore, we've got the Strength card. Group 1, I can see that a big unexpected surprise to you in the end is really just also how strong that you are. I see that you didn't expect that whatsoever. So this is something that will leave you pretty baffled. And I see here within a disruption that whenever you need to, you can press the pause button. This again causes a lot of raised eyebrows and surprised type of reactions within your family and your friend circle. As I mentioned earlier in your reading, Group 1, everything is moving pretty quickly, but when things are at a point where you feel stressed, you can press the pause button and you have the strength to simply say, look, I can't add an extra task to my to-do list. I cannot accommodate another person's needs, putting that person's needs over my own. So I do want you to know here within the wheel that when needed, you can stop it. The wheel is about indecisiveness and allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. But in between the Strength and the Disruption card, it becomes very clear that in the past, you may have thought to yourself within the wheel that, well, you can't stop life from happening. You can't stop certain situations that are already in motion, but you're learning that you actually can, group number 1, and you are putting your foot down. You are pumping the brakes when it's necessary, and that is a big surprise because you've never been able to speak up for yourself, your own wants and needs and rights, the way I see you doing here moving forward. So last but not least, we've got the chrysanthemum. In the chrysanthemum, I can see here that you're finding your own personal keys and recipes to your longevity. So that doesn't mean necessarily being on a health kick, for example, that lasts for a couple months. This is real longevity. So making yourself feel good over the course of decades and your entire lifetime. So I see a mixture of using material things such as money in order to buy organic foods, supplements, things that you know make you feel good and strong, as well as also using divine feminine type of energy in order to be receptive to your body's needs. As you may know, the divine feminine energy is the energy that takes in, that is receptive. So you're open to allowing your body to express itself however it feels the need to. So if your body is telling you after a certain meal that is deemed healthy by mainstream media or nutritionists that it did not like it by bloating, by giving you a headache or a stomach ache, you are going to listen to that, as I can see that for you it's about longevity. So it doesn't matter whether someone else says that it's healthy or not, it has to feel good for you at the end of the day. We've got this little canary here, which is all about singing your own song, being proud about discovering what your body needs. And within this little jet or private plane, I can see that you're going to travel to some distant locations in order to find different healing practices and connect with people who know about herbal and ancient sacred medicines. Let's just add 1 or 2 extra pieces of information to your reading, group number 1. We've got the coins. Oh, okay, so money will be coming to you. This is a positive surprise, of course, as money allows you to have more time and freedom on your hands in order to follow your heart's truest and deepest desires. So I do see here that in midst of a lot of self-reflection and asking yourself whether you've made the right choices in life, you will have some money coming your way, which will affirm to you that you are on the right track when it comes to your professional life and your finances. So group 1, we have reached the end of your reading about all of the unexpected surprises that are coming for you. Please ensure that you leave a little coin or a money bag emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here and that you received your reading, that you found it insightful, and that it resonated with you. Furthermore, if you love the vibes of my channel and you felt right at home, make sure that you don't forget to subscribe in order to never miss another one of these readings. Thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading about all of the unexpected surprises that are coming for you. So let's get straight into it. You chose the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. This is one of my favorite decks ever and one of the first decks that I ever owned, and it has a very special place in my heart. We've got the Brown Bear Spirit as well as the Buffalo Spirit. So group 2, for you, I can see that a big unexpected surprise coming towards you is that when you're actually taking some time out from work and from putting effort into different projects, when you're taking time for yourself and making sure that you don't burn out, you're actually going to find that professionally speaking, you are gaining more material abundance. And this is definitely something that I want you to take to heart, especially if you are self-employed or you have your own business just like I do, group number 2. I remember the first time I went on a vacation after starting my own business, after years of working every single day of the year. My first vacation, I was so afraid that everything was going to just be a huge disaster and that things would not keep up when I wasn't there, but actually abundance increased. Actually, the figures, the numbers went up, and that's what the Buffalo Spirit stands for. Sometimes you have to take care of yourself and your own affairs in order for other things to energetically be able to thrive and to be alleviated from tension and pressure. Sometimes you don't realize when you're bringing a lot of tension and pressure to your dreams as well as your career and your professional life. So the Brown Bear Spirit stands for taking time out, and the Buffalo Spirit is all about the abundant universe providing you when you do so, which can seem very counterintuitive. But remember here in the Butterfly Spirit that just as a butterfly needs to go through the stage of being in its chrysalis and transforming from a pupa or from a little caterpillar to the butterfly, you need to sometimes do the same. And the butterfly can't do anything when it's in that transformative period, right? It is only able to rest, to reassemble itself, quite literally speaking. And I do want you to know here in the Butterfly Spirit that while the butterfly butterfly is in its little chrysalis, I believe it's called, it actually turns into this quote unquote soup. So its body parts, its organs are just swimming around within this little chrysalis, in this pouch in which a transformation is taking place. And only with enough time as well as space is it able to emerge from its chrysalis being this beautiful butterfly. And furthermore, group number 2, I'm able to spot something very interesting about the unexpected surprises coming for you. We've got the number 9 here in connectivity to the brown bear spirit. We've got the number 10 with the buffalo spirit and 11 with the butterfly spirit. Now, you may not expect this to happen in such great order and chronologically, but this is definitely how it's going to take place for you. First, you're going to take time out, then you're going to find that the abundant universe provides for you, and the less that you interrupt things in life, the more smoothly your life actually plays out. And last, you will find that transformation is taking place for you that you did not expect, that is coming as a complete surprise. Next up, we've got the frog spirit for you. So in the frog spirit, I can see a need and an urge to clear out clutter. Let's zoom in on the frog spirit for you. There we go. So clearing out any unwanted emotional or physical clutter that you have been holding on to, any type of memorabilia that is just lying around, and honestly just taking up space rent free. This is definitely something you need to look at in more detail, group number 2. Next up, we've got this beautiful tree as well as this hand symbol. So I do see here within the little tree charm that there is a lot of growth that can come towards you, but you have to stand your ground and kind of remember your values, as I can see here within the hand, that it is okay for you to ask for help when it comes to decluttering, when it comes to clearing out the things that you no longer need. So be very open to asking a friend or a family member whether they can come by and give you a little bit of support. We have another tree show up for you. So when it comes to the symbolism of trees, which have showed up twice within these charms for you, for your unexpected surprises, group number 2, bear in mind that the tree is a symbol of life as well as a symbol of strength, of being able to be in a space without moving around and still surviving any storm, any type of weather that comes towards you without it taking you down or without feeling as though this is the end. So do know here within the frog spirit and clearing out clutter that you have to stand your ground. When you're clearing out clutter, don't make excuses for things that really need to be removed, recycled, or donated. Get rid of them. Be hard on yourself. Create different piles of things that you're definitely keeping, things that you're donating, and things that you are maybe just going to archive, but be hard on yourself and allow for yourself to create space for new things. Because if you haven't used something in years, you most likely won't really miss it when it's gone, group number 2. Next up, we've got the hawk spirit. In the hawk spirit, I can see here that a big unexpected surprise coming for you is just how guided that you are by spirit and overall your spirit animals as well. It's almost like you have someone watching over you at all times, and you don't even need to ask for this guidance. It's kind of just showing up for you, group 2. So we've got glasses, we've got this beautiful elephant, as well as the Eiffel Tower. So I can see you looking into some travels to France, but maybe also to a part of the world that is more east within Asia or Africa. That's usually where we can find these elephants. I'm not quite sure from the charm which one it is. And maybe we have this combination of a French-speaking country that has elephants living in that space, and you finding some sort of interest in it, either the culture there or actually wanting to travel there. I can definitely see you being guided to be open-minded towards other cultures, cities, trips, and life forms. Next up, we've got the shaman. In the shaman, we've got some divine wisdom and spiritual power that you didn't expect that's coming towards you, group number 2. And the more you take time out to yourself right now, the more you're actually going to grow in spiritual power, which may make you feel like it's not deserved, right? Like you should be putting in so much hard work in order to receive all this bounty and abundance. But I see here within the Four of Feathers that no, the universe is truly confirming to you that it's okay to take rest, to take some space, to be in your little sanctuary and just take care of you for a little bit, group number 2, especially if you're an empath, a giver. You're the type of person who always puts themselves out there and tries to put their best foot forward for other people and goes out of their way to help others. It is so important that you take the time to recuperate. The Six of Feathers is a symbol of transition and transformation, but also insight. The Suit of Feathers corresponds to the element of air, which speaks of your mental realm, your intelligence, as well as your ability to communicate. So I can see here with the Six of Feathers and the Hawk Spirit that a surprise coming towards you is an upcoming trip that you're planning that would have been out of your comfort zone a couple months or years ago, but now you are a completely different and transitioned human being. You've transformed and you're looking into ways in which you can be more open-minded and see different cultures and parts of the world that in the past you were actually blissfully unaware of. I also want you to know here in the Butterfly Spirit and the Four of Feathers that surprisingly transformation is really happening in your sleep. And if you don't believe this, group number 2, there is scientific evidence of all of the things that happen in your sleep, such as being able to learn things, process things, memorize things, the more sleep and rest that you get. So read this book called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. It is honestly such a life-changing book, especially if you're the type of person who tends to overwork themselves and not prioritize sleep, but actually as soon as you have more things to do, you take hours off of your sleep and you say to yourself, well, you know, if I need extra time, I'll just sleep less. If you're that type of person, I was in the exact same boat, group number 2, and I highly recommend that you read that book or listen to an Audible. Whatever it is that you do, make sure that you be open-minded to having your mind changed through science-based facts about the importance of sleep, because I truly think that sleep is something that a lot of us tend to neglect. Next up, we've got the Ten of Acorns. In the Ten of Acorns, I can see a great deal of responsibility and dedication that comes from you. And being dedicated to clearing out your space is what you're doing next. You're fed up of looking around and being around energetic entities that simply don't vibe with where you are, especially through this spiritual transformation that you are going through that's coming towards you, group number 2. And it's okay to feel fed up with the fact that not everything resonates around you. But instead of getting mad, just use that energy and channel it into decluttering and getting rid of the things that no longer serve you. Next up, we've got the Throne. You're in the position of authority, and I see that you will be super surprised at the fact of how easy it is to actually be in the throne of your life, and you'll ask yourself why you didn't do it sooner. Why you didn't sooner feel as though you are truly the main character in this funny thing called life, why you didn't sooner take the opportunity to be in full control over your destiny. I see here within the frying pan that there may be some trouble, there may be a bit of an accusatory tone that you will have towards yourself after you have completed this transformation that is coming next and kind of hitting you with a big surprise factor. But remind yourself here, group number 2, that just as much as you are realizing that you're in the position of authority to control your life, you're also in the position of authority to not be mean to yourself, to not put yourself down, and to not make yourself feel guilty about the fact that yeah, maybe you could have taken the lead sooner, but maybe there were also valuable lessons that you needed to learn before you realized just how powerful you were. So you would never look back and never make the mistake of giving up your power again. Next up, we've got the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands here shows me that when it comes to getting rid of your clutter and being dedicated to it, there will be some people who disagree with the changes that you're making. And that's okay, group number 2. I see that it's also going to surprise you about who these people are. I see in the Tower that it's going to create some friction. So the Tower and the Five of Wands shows me that there will be friction with people who are used to you being the old version of yourself before your transformation, before the spiritual growth and this spiritual enlightenment. And people aren't going to understand why you felt the need to change or why you allowed for yourself to change. And that's okay. I see here in the Four of Cups that the most important thing is for you to be at peace with yourself. And I see that you are at peace with yourself. I can see here that you are in a place where you're simply happy to have had the privilege to go through changes and transformations and to not feel bullied into remaining complacent and being the same person you always were just because you don't want to be labeled as a hypocrite or that person who changed. That's the whole point, group number 2. The whole point is change and evolution and for things to be adjusted. I see here within the King of Swords that a big inspiration for you, a huge source of support as well as overall help is the King of Swords, the King of Air Signs, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius who has done the same for themselves. You look up to this person. This is like a role model to you, and you have seen how they've taken control and charge of their life, how they have transitioned, and you want the same for yourself, and you don't really care whether it ruffles anyone else's feathers. You're all about making the changes that you need to, as I can also see here in the Knight of Cups, that you're done with people gaslighting you. The Knight of Cups takes their sovereignty back. They have their own sense of responsibility for allowing people to walk all over them or allowing people to gaslight them to do things, but once they've decided that that's no longer what's happening, then they don't allow for situations to get to them anymore. The Sun here shows me that you're in a space of feeling happy, content, and joyful. This is one of the most positive cards within the tarot, and I see that as a big surprise. You're not going through a spiritual transformation that is filled with hurt and agony and overall very difficult emotions. I can see that your transformation is actually filled with a lot of lighthearted emotions, a lot of emotions that are filling you with joy, and also this courage of knowing that you can do it again, that you did the right thing. And once you've moved forward, the Hanged Woman shows me here that it's definitely time to take rest again. So we have you needing to take rest first, as we spoke about in the Brown Bear Spirit, and that transformation is what comes afterwards. However, shortly thereafter this transformation, you will be asked to take rest again. And if you don't take rest, group number 2, you will be forced to, okay? There will definitely be pushback by your guides and your body and just overall your own health, both mentally and physically, when you overwork yourself or when you don't allow for yourself to have restful sleep or just overall time to recuperate. Know that these are not things that just go away. There is a price to pay. Whether you always see the price or not, it's important for you to be reminded that you're paying it regardless of whether you notice it right now or you don't. I see here within the broccoli, we've got some leadership coming towards you. And clearing out the clutter, I do also see here that the more you remove all of the noise, the more you actually realize, hey, I'm ready to step things up. I'm actually way overdue for a promotion or to be the CEO of my own company, of my own establishment. I see that within the broccoli, but also the throne and also the 10 of wands, the 10 of acorns that we have here. The acorns is actually the same suit as the wands in the traditional tarot, just with a different type of depiction. So do know here within leadership, the throne, that you're going to step up after your transformation to a leadership role. Like I was mentioning, think CEO, think someone who is in upper management, someone who takes care of the big picture. But you have to go through this growth first in order to have the qualifications to be there. Trust me, group number 2, even when you wish that you could just take the fast lane to the top and you ask yourself if things really need to be earned with so much blood and sweat and tears, like, it is definitely necessary. And I noticed that day in and day out, having my own business and overall running my own establishments. You have to learn all of these lessons because nobody can prepare you for things that will happen that won't be easy, whether it's employees who are very difficult to deal with, whether it is supply chain issues, whether you have to deal with coworkers who you simply don't get along with, or you have to be very creative and inventive because your back is against the wall financially. Know here that the more you learn and the more you heal through these difficult situations, the more you will actually understand, as the geranium states, that healing is also an important part of growth, because the more you can heal that scar tissue, the more you come to these realizations of how your body is truly powerful and possesses everything that it needs in order to keep going. And those scars serve as a reminder of everything that you've been through and everything that you have faced and yet come out still standing strong. So leave a butterfly emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here. And the butterfly emoji also serves as a reminder that you did in fact feel drawn to a group number 2. But let's move further into your reading, shall we? We've got the watermelon as well as the onion. So I can see here that if fertility is something that you're kind of not looking into right now, or maybe you are concerned with, but not because fertility is something that you want to explore, but it's more something you would like to delay. You don't want kids right now, you don't want to add to your family, then use the necessary protective measures, okay? Group number 2, make sure that you're taking good care of that, and don't ever be that person who feels as though, well, you know, one time I'm sure everything's going to be okay. It only takes one slip up for you to involuntarily have to deal with the repercussions of exploring your fertility, if you know what I mean, group number 2. So make sure that you are paying close attention to who you're intimate with and whether what you're doing is going to give you the desired outcome. Next up, we've got the Tower. The Tower speaks of a solid foundation and success with effort. So we did have the Tower show up in the tarot here, but within the tea leaf fortune card, I do want you to know that relationships that are kind of cracking under the pressure of the changes that you're going through are not relationships that were built on a solid foundation, and the ones that were aren't going to crack just because you've changed or just because you're pursuing some other things in your life. I want you to know here within the tree that it's important for you to keep in mind that true family, whether they are chosen family, and by that I mean friends who you consider family, or they're your blood related family. I mean, family is a term that is very flexible, and because you can't choose your family, I'd say it's very valid to have chosen family, right? Because you're deliberately deciding who you want to surround yourself by. I can see that they are going to withstand any type of changes that you're going through. So we've had the tree show up 3 times within your reading already. Look out for this symbol moving forward, group number 2. If there is a reoccurring symbol showing up within your life in the next couple of weeks and you happen to notice that it is a tree, think back to the fact that you are strong and you can get through anything. You don't have to run away from things. Just like a tree can't run away from a storm or from bad weather or from a really hot or windy day, you can't necessarily run away from having to face those things either, but it doesn't mean that it's going to hurt you or bring you down. You're still going to be able to grow, and as long as you've got your solid foundation, your trunk and your roots properly wired into earth, and you're feeling grounded, you will be able to get through tough times and any transformation that takes place and the type of tense energy that it brings with it. Because I do see here within the dagger that there is some fear and some worry that comes with knowing you're going through some big transformation at the cellular level. There is definitely a little bit of uneasy energy that surrounds you, group number 2. And that is, of course, to be expected. But remember that the whole point of life is change and transformation and growth. And don't be tempted to lower your standards for yourself. It's actually a lot easier to not face transformation and growth, especially when your body and the universe is kind of screaming for you to do it and screaming for you to finally take your next steps forward. But don't lower your standards in that way. You are ready for the next chapter in your life. I see within the fox that we've got shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So circling back to the authority and the leadership that we have in this area of your reading, remind yourself here that you are making it to the top when it comes to business as well as your professional life, because you're super resourceful and you're finding all of these little loopholes that other people are not seeing. You are finding all of the areas in businesses in which things can be done more effectively. So you're ultimately filling a void and providing a service that other people have not thought of. And that is what gives you an advantage to other people. And that's your biggest asset, truly, group number 2. So make sure that you're unafraid to tap into that more, to remind yourself that in order to be different in a good way, you still have to be different, right? Whether it's in a good way or a bad way. If you want to stand out positively, you first and foremost have to be strong enough mentally to stand out and to be unafraid to do that. But remind yourself here that you've got what it takes to be a leader. You've got what it takes to ensure that any business or professional venture that you're a part of ends up being a success. So don't question yourself to the point that you're chiseling away at your confidence. That is not necessary, group number 2. You're definitely the type of person who is meant to have a leadership role, as you're not someone who is selfish. You always want what's best for the majority of people involved, as well as an establishment overall. So a human being like yourself really does deserve to be in a position of authority. So group 2, this is a reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful and fun. Let me know down below in the comment section. Also, don't forget to look out for trees, to plant some trees. This is your symbol for the next upcoming time in your life. This is a meaningful synchronicity that you will notice showing up, and I definitely want you to remind yourself that it stands for your strength and your wisdom. Thank you for being here, group number 2, and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your portion of your prediction. You chose the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck in order to help guide you through figuring out what unexpected surprises are coming for you. So let's see, we've got the selenite, we've got the rhodonite, as well as the clear quartz. So we've got 2 clear stones for you. The selenite is all about clearing out clutter. So I can see that surprisingly, you're going to be getting rid of a lot of things in the near future, group number 3. So think clothing, items that are just decor that are in your home that you no longer resonate with, but maybe also people with whom you don't vibe anymore. As I do see here within the rhodonite that it's about forgiveness, and well, forgiveness is kind of something we do with people, not things, right? So in the rhodonite, we have a crystal that is trying to encourage you to find a way to forgive. And I can see here that surprisingly, you will find a way to forgive and be able to clear out any emotional clutter that you had attached to a situation with someone who hurt you or did you wrong. I see here in the clear quartz that you're getting crystal clear about what you want, which is inner peace. You want freedom. You want to not feel as though you are bound by the chains or constraints of any type of anger or negative emotions and feelings that you're harboring towards another person. So do know here that when it comes to surprises coming towards you, a lot of this has to do with restructuring of your social circle and also removing any type of hate or anger that you may have carried along with you. Maybe rightfully so, but nevertheless, it doesn't serve you to carry hate or anger around, even if someone did you wrong. Keep that in mind. I see in the Phantom Quartz you're embracing change. And this is a big surprise coming towards you because, especially if you're a homebody or you're someone who likes their routine and likes the things that they know and doesn't necessarily want to bring too much newness into their life, then this is a big surprise that you get to look forward to, because I can definitely see that you are very clear about what you're bringing into your life, what changes that you want to embrace. The Angelite shows me here that you are supported in making these changes by your guides, as well as the people who you call your friends and your family, your chosen family. Definitely know here in the Phantom Quartz that you are supported by all the people around you when it comes to making changes and overall switching things and people out of your life. I see in the tourmalinated quartz that you're getting out of your own way and not feeling like it makes you a bad person just because you're clearing out clutter. That does not mean that you didn't care about a person, a thing, or a situation. It just simply means you're choosing to meet your own needs and to ensure that you're emotionally in a great place. So if you've made it to this point of your reading and you chose group 3, leave a little black heart emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you're here and that you're ready and willing to embrace your changes, even if that means that you're finally putting yourself first. A lot of us aren't used to doing that, so it can feel strange at first. I can see here within the lepidolite that your dreams are going to have some sort of important significance. We'll get more into that in just a second, group number 3. Then we've got the pink opal, which stands for being kind to yourself. We spoke about that a little bit here with the tourmalinated quartz, getting out of your own way. That is definitely the result of kindness towards yourself, group number 3. And last but not least, for our daily crystal inspiration cards, we've got the black kyanite, which is all about setting strong boundaries. So we will be looking more into the meanings of all the crystals that are here for your big surprises, but I can definitely see that huge surprises are coming towards you when it comes to how fiercely you're protecting yourself and your own well-being. Finally, group number 3, and also big surprises in how much support that you're actually receiving for your ventures. So that could of course also be financial support that you're getting from other people, some sort of funding for a startup idea or for you to start a business with. And I can see here within the lepidolite that you are taking steps towards your dreams that you were not able to take prior to these changes happening within your life. Next up, we've got the sun. Oh, the sun is one of my favorite symbols when it comes to tarot and oracle cards, because the sun stands for happiness and well-being. This is one of the most favorable cards as well within tarot and oracle decks. Well, when they do show up within oracle decks, because not every oracle deck includes a sun symbol, but I do want you to know here that this shows that you have a lot of happiness coming towards you the more you clear out unnecessary clutter and the more you get rid of things that you no longer need. Also, surprisingly, the medicine that you need, group number 3 right now, is to find a way to forgive and to find a way to be kind to people who did not treat you the way that they really should have. And that's not because you want to give them anything, but because you know you're a kind person, and that is a reflection of who you are. And if it's not possible for you to do so because in certain situations being kind to someone who mistreated you is not an option, there are those exceptional situations. Simply being kind to yourself by not surrounding yourself by these people, by not coming face to face with that person, that is already showing yourself great kindness and care. I can see here within the tree that your family wants you to do the same. Your family wants you to protect yourself. Your family wants you to find a way to move forward without carrying with you weight and trauma and hurt from the past, and that way you can also, in a sense, get out of your own way and out of your own head. We've got the diamond next for you, group 3, which shows me here that you will be receiving or giving a precious gift. Wow, okay, this is a really great surprise. You may quite literally be receiving a diamond or just overall something of high value that is small and sparkly and beautiful and glimmery. It could also be some crystal jewelry. It could be just something that is precious to you and makes you feel super special. A diamond can also be an engagement ring. I see with the clear quartz and the diamond that getting crystal clear about what you want in relationships is a big one, and the more you get rid of any trauma that you've been carrying around with you, the more you can also focus on your own relationships, whether they be platonic or romantic ones. Next up, we've got the scissors. Group 3, the scissors is about disappointment in some sort of affair, also cutting those ties. Know here within the rhodonite and the scissors that even though you may be disappointed in someone's behavior or someone's treatment of you, you do not have to carry that disappointment with you. You can feel disappointment, but at the same time have reached a place where you've let go of it, and you're making it very clear to yourself that you now have a plan. You have now learned what the red flags are in other people who are not healthy for you to be around, who are actually quite toxic, group number 3. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're fundamentally bad people. It just often is a sign that you're not compatible with someone who causes these deep disappointments or lets you down and doesn't give you what you need out of the relationship, emotionally speaking. Next up, we've got the Empress for you. Group 3, the Empress stands for feeling yourself, living your best life, as well as being as attractive as you can be. The Empress shows me here that we have this deep confidence within you that's emerging. You're getting crystal clear also on your own worth, and through that you're receiving this surprise in shape of a diamond or some sort of very precious gift, because the more you put out the type of energy and the type of vibration that you're worthy and you're deserving, the more other people will believe it as well and will act accordingly, whether that is a romantic partner or just other people in general. The 6 of Cups stands for great emotional connections and overall just having your glass be very full and taking good care of yourself and others around you. Generosity is a big one. Here, connecting that to the Empress as well as the Phantom Quartz shows me that you're going from this place of maybe having your glass be half empty all the time or just not having people care as much about you to feeling a lot more loved, a lot more cared for, and doing the same for yourself. And it's most likely just a result of you taking better care of yourself that you have other people reciprocating that. Next up, we've got the Hierophant. The Hierophant speaks of some spiritual epiphanies, enlightenments, and changes. And with you embracing the change and having a lot of support, I can see that as a big surprise, on a spiritual level, you're changing your belief systems a lot. So maybe you're going from more traditional or conservative religious thinking to being a bit more open-minded or a bit less fixated on a particular philosophy. But the same goes for people who are into New Age spirituality as well, or for example, more Eastern spirituality or yogic practices. Some of us can get so caught up in following one specific lineage and one specific type of philosophy that we forget that there's so much out here for us to discover, so much out here for us to embrace change with, and other ways from which you can see the world, a different type of viewpoint, a different way to express yourself spiritually, emotionally, just as a human being. I see within the Knight of Wands that you've got a lot of this fiery energy in you that just simply wants to demonstrate things, that wants to hold PowerPoint presentations for your your friends and family members, about the things that you've learned. I see in the Knight of Wands, surprisingly, you're putting yourself out there more than you ever have in the past. You're unafraid. You've got a lot of masculine energy that you get to make use of, that you get to use just in order to show others how much you've grown, how open-minded that you are, and that you are also at a point in your life where you want to share some knowledge, where you don't mind if there are opposing thoughts or beliefs in the room. You can embrace those just as much as you embrace the beliefs that are yours, that you feel the most drawn towards. The Two of Swords shows me here that you're actually surprisingly finding a lot of depth and peace within that depth of understanding that we are all interconnected in a way. It doesn't matter whether you believe in someone else's philosophy or whether you feel as though their philosophy is pretty far removed from yours. You will always find some sort of human connection with another being. You will always find something that you have in common with another living creature. So I can see that some unexpected surprises coming towards you are definitely an increase in just love for everyone and everything, non-judgment. And even if you're treated in a way that is rude and wrong, you're not going to reciprocate that. You're not going to give them that energy back or put yourself into that type of low energetic frequency that just causes pain and hurt, and for that suffering to be magnified. You are going to act in a way that shows that you've got integrity and that you're following your moral compass no matter what anyone else may try to do, because you've got boundaries between other people's energy as well as yours. There is some space and distance there. I see that here within the Black Kyanite, and what that really results in is what we have in the pink opal, which suggests that you're being very kind to yourself, that you're not allowing yourself to act out of character in a way that you would feel ashamed of. Let's move further into your reading, group number 3. I'm really enjoying your reading, and I hope that you are too. We've got the star as well as this little train locomotive. I'm not sure how to say it in the English language, but you get the idea, group number 3. So with the star, we've got a lot of hope here, and I want you to know that that hope is coming from your great support system and also some forward movement, which isn't just happening out of your own ambition, but because you remember in those movies in the old days where they used to put like wood into the burning chamber of these trains in order to propel them forward. I don't know if it still happens because I haven't seen one of those in real life ever, but moving forward, if that is in fact how these vehicles are propelled forward, takes a lot more effort than just one person sitting in the front and steering, or basically saying, okay, let's get things moving, right? We need people chopping the wood, we need people tending to the oven, the engines, the wheels, the tracks, all of those types of things. And I can definitely see that for you, a lot of the surprises coming towards you have to do with just how much more love and support you've got around you than you ever expected, and how much more open-minded that your friends and family actually are, despite what you feared or thought would be the case. I see within the daffodil that this gives you so much hope. We spoke about that with the star just a moment, just an instance ago, group number 3, how there is hope on the horizon for you to be able to live your life however you want to and still feel really loved and supported. And not everyone has the privilege to do so, because a lot of people, when they're real about who they are, what their romantic preferences are, their spiritual preferences, how they like to lead life, I mean, even diet can be a very difficult and very touchy subject. A lot of people don't feel loved and they don't feel embraced by their family as soon as they're different. But I can see here that the family you've chosen is so supportive of you. I see within the chives that divination is going to surprise you. So after this video, feel free to check out more videos on my channel, or just overall pick a card reading videos, because I can see that a lot of these divination tools will surprise you, also using your own tarot and oracle cards. I have mine linked in the description box. As you know, I have authored 2 decks so far. So do know here that if you're looking for divination tools, that's definitely a great place for you to start. But furthermore, divination is something that you also have free access to with the age of the internet by watching videos like the one you're watching right now. And I can see in the Mayaram that this brings you a lot of happiness, because in a way, you've got guidance, you've got support, you're in a community with people who you truly vibe with, who are open-minded and who don't judge you. So I can see here that you're also going to get a lot of support out of divination that you didn't suspect, that will surprise you big time. The firecracker shows me amazing excitement coming towards you, a ton of unexpected surprises, group number 3, that will be super fun and exciting, that you will experience with other people. I see that here in the 6 of Cups, as well as the Empress, that you're going to spend time with others, and the excitement and surprises are going to bring you lots of joy and happiness. And I do also see within the broken ring that there will be parting of the ways, either in a romantic or business sense, but this is a really positive parting, as I can see that you'll be celebrating this, group number 3. So this could be someone breaking up with a lover, a husband, or a fiance who you didn't really like anyways, and that's not because you thought that they were a bad person necessarily, but maybe you just didn't think they were a perfect match. So them breaking up and kind of a situation dissolving, a business or romantic affair parting ways, is the reason for a big celebration that's taking place here. So if you've ever heard of something like a divorce party or so, do know here that this is something that's taking place that you will be part of. I see within the Axe that we've got some forces that are trying to work against you. And with the 2 of Swords, I see that some people are trying to twist your words, group number 3. I wonder why they would do that. In connectivity to the Lepidolite, your dreams are like offensive to them. It's like someone feels as though you're dreaming way too big. They're asking themselves who you think that you are. And my beautiful unicorn of group 3, you think you're just that. You're like a beautiful unicorn, a mystical being who deserves to go after their dreams and doesn't need to make themselves feel smaller. You don't have to live within that paradigm. I see within the unicorn that you're using your intuition to make beneficial changes. And while some people may feel as though they will never get out of a job that they don't like, or they'll never be in a successful romantic relationship, you leave that up to them, but you don't want to lead your life that way. You always believe that there is goodness and that your goals are achievable. And this is definitely something that not everybody can deal with, and they may try to make you feel insecure, but it's up to you whether you allow them to. And I see that this is because they've got this broken wishbone syndrome, okay? They've had wishes that were not granted, but haven't we all had hopes and dreams and wishes that maybe didn't come to fruition when we wanted them to? And some of us may be bogged down by that and find it hard to get back up, and therefore become a little pessimistic and a little bit narrow-minded, and others get back up and they try again, and they understand that sure, some dreams may take a little bit more time to come to fruition, or sometimes the divine timing just isn't right and isn't there. So it's important for you to keep in mind that no matter what someone says, that doesn't mean that it is a reflection of whether your dream is actually going to be successful or not. That is often a reflection of how they feel about their dreams and their accomplishments. So don't let that make you feel badly about anything that you've set your mind to accomplishing. I see in the Queen of Cups that you have to be especially careful here, surprisingly, okay, with a woman or someone who identifies as female with a lot of feminine energy. The Queen of Cups shows me here that they are most likely a little older than you, that they're pretty established in their life. They are a Pisces, a Scorpio, or a Cancerian. They think that they know it all. They have this mother matriarchal type of depiction of themselves in their head. You can tell that they think highly of themselves. They are emotional, so they're the type of person who can have a very erratic type of behavior, who has a temper or can fly off the handle very easily, especially if you challenge them. So see their own trauma and what they've been through as a reflection of their behavior. Never take anything that this person does too personally, group number 3. It's just not worth it. Next up, we've got the Syrians. So in the Syrians, I can see that you are a very artistic person with integrity and a lot of honesty. You always try to do your best, and these are the type of morals and values that we need more of in this world, group number 3. So continue to embrace those parts of yourself specifically, as everybody really cherishes that in you, and that's one of your biggest assets. And next up in the golden ratio, I see beauty, nature, and patterns that you get to follow that other people notice, but maybe you don't. The golden ratio speaks of natural beauty, beauty that the human eye just can't deny. You possess that, group number 3, whether you believe that or not. A lot of your features are very symmetrical in a way that inexplicably draws other people to you, especially physically, and that makes you a good catch, quote unquote, okay, because there's no such thing as a good or a bad catch, but you get what I mean, by society's standards. So do know here within the golden ratio that your beauty is definitely an advantage, but also maybe something that causes some jealousy and friction, and for some people to try to get in the way of you and your dreams. So just be very mindful of that. Be careful. Don't leave your precious belongings lying around, because it is all too easy for someone to misplace those, and you will be surprised because you're not the type of person to do that. However, that doesn't mean that people with questionable intentions don't exist. So try to keep yourself out of harm's way and not put yourself in a position where you're closer to that type of individual than you need to be. But overall, group number 3, I want you to know that some big surprises coming for you definitely have to do with a big gift or a diamond ring in some sense, and a solidification of a relationship where you really know where you stand because of this gift. It just gives you that extra clarity about how someone feels about you. There's tons of excitement taking place. There is some breaking apart of someone either quitting their job or quitting a relationship where you're celebrating with them because you know that at the end of the day, that's the best thing that could have happened in this situation and to this person. Setting your boundaries and also your own personal belief system being accepted and even celebrated by friends and family just gives you this feeling of true support and of not feeling like you're the odd one out anymore. Be kind to yourself. Remind yourself that divination is an amazing tool for self-reflection and to help you look at different aspects of your life that you otherwise may not have considered looking at or looking at through this particular lens. So consider also adding divination tools to your own life and doing divination on your own terms by yourself. Pulling a little tarot or oracle card every single morning or every day, it can be so therapeutic, and I recommend that to everyone, whether you're a big fan or you're someone who just dabbles with divination and spirituality. It is ultimately an amazing tool for self-reflection as well and personal growth and development. So make sure you don't miss out on that, and who knows, there may be some messages in there from your guides and angels and the universe that are undeniably here for a reason. So group 3, this is the reading that I received for you. If you made it to the end, leave a little fire firecracker emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here, that you received your reading, and that you found it insightful. Thank you so much for joining me in this divine time and space, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading about all of the unexpected surprises that are coming for you. You chose the Keepers of the Light Oracle cards in order to receive your messages, so let's get straight into it. I'm so excited to figure out exactly what the universe and the cards will reveal about the surprises that are coming towards you. So first up, we've got Lord Ganesh, we've got Lord Shiva, as well as Lady Venus. So I can see here within Lord Ganesh that some surprises that are coming towards you have to do with obstacles being removed. You heard me right, group number 4. Obstacles that are in your way right now, or that seem to be obstacles in your way, will be eradicated. And I can see here that spiritual support and connections are increasing for you. So rather than being in a situation where you feel as though you're forced to make do with whatever life gives you, you're able to choose. There's infinite abundance here. In Lord Shiva, I can see that you're rising up and honoring your inner force. And this is most likely also what's channeling the removal of these obstacles in your life. Furthermore, I want you to know here in Lord Shiva that surprisingly, steps are being given to you, and it feels as though every step forward is magically being revealed by the universe. Like, you don't even need to think about what to do next, group 4. It's like the upcoming steps are simply laid out for you, and all you need to do is sit in the driver's seat and put the pedal to the metal. I can see here within Lady Venus that furthermore, we also have some unexpected surprises being revealed for you in form of truths, deep insights that are coming from the astral realm. We will look into more details about all of the exact insights and truths that are being revealed, but do know here that this is already a fantastic start to the surprises that are coming towards you. We've gotten the tulip as well as the barking dog, some great passion coming from a friend of yours. So it may be that someone who you thought was simply a friend is actually showing you that they're super passionate about your connection and may actually be looking at you in a more romantic way than you ever expected. And this comes as a huge surprise for you because you absolutely did not expect that. And it's just overall something that takes you during a time where you least expect it. Next up, we've got the elephant as well as the mice. So in the elephant, we've got a long journey, either a physical or a mental one, and it will leave you wiser at the end. The mice are an indication for discord among friends or family. Okay, group number 4, there's a bit of a surprising family feud going on here. And by family feud, I mean there is discord, there are disagreements, and it's going to be a long journey till things are rekindled. And you seem to be in the middle of this situation. I see that here in connectivity to Lord Shiva. I see that you're the type of person who is the mediator, who is in between this difficult situation. And it will take a while for people to find their ground again, to find a place where they are able to be cordial with one another. Next up, we've got the funnel. So group 4, in the funnel, I can see that this actually results in a period of frustration. And group 4, I hope that you can appreciate the fact that I am always honest within my readings. I don't like to sugarcoat anything. I don't like to make it seem as though discord or difficult situations are not a part of life. It is very important for me to read all the cards, the good, the bad, and the in-between. So in the funnel, do know here that this is something that you're not exactly excited about, and you wish you weren't in the middle of people's arguments and two different sides to a story. Krishna shows me here that it's time for you to trust your spiritual guidance because your commitment is being recognized. You're loved unconditionally, and this may come as a surprise to you, especially when you see other people arguing and going through tough times in their relationships and with other people. To be the one who is always in a safe space, who is always kind of still loved and cared for by others, may take you in surprise, but group number 4, do know that overall you are staying out of drama, even though drama is kind of surrounding your your life a little bit. Next up, we've got Commander Ashtar. In Commander Ashtar, I can see that an unexpected surprise coming for you is that you will take charge. You will lead by example and walk your talk. You're going to, at some point, when you are completely sick of people arguing and being in petty little disputes around you, you're going to take charge of it and you're going to tell people that it is childish and petty and you need it to stop in order for you to be able to continue living your life and to not have to walk on eggshells around people. I see in Kuan Yin that you are always recognized as someone who comes from a place of care and compassion. You choose to be loved. You do what's right for everyone involved. You offer a helping hand, and that is what people appreciate most within you. Group number 4, and that is also why people never take it the wrong way when you just tell them the truth and you just tell them when they're being crazy or when they're doing a little too much when it comes to drama. So don't be afraid here to voice your opinion, to stand up for what's right, and to walk your talk, as we spoke about in Commander Ashtar, because this is appreciated. Often people don't see the fault in themselves, and it can be hard for them to put their ego aside and recognize it. But coming from a person like you, it feels very non-judgmental, and people are more likely to take advice on board from you than anyone else. Next up, we've got the Dark Man. We've got a surprise coming towards you in the sense of dealings or relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. And this Dark Man is going to show up while obstacles are being removed for you, and we've got the spiritual support and connections that are increasing within your life, as well as the cat. Okay, so we've got a two-faced friend here, and this Dark Man seems to have something to do with this two-faced friend. And this Dark Man situation is one that you want to look out for, because two-faced friends are especially dangerous when you're sharing kind of secrets as well. But the boat here shows me that you're receiving money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. So time for you to be even more careful when it comes to the people who you surround yourself with, group number 4, and ensure that you're not sharing any of your earthly abundance with someone who you don't properly know. Because when you receive extra money, property, just material abundance, all of a sudden you can find yourself with a lot more quote-unquote friends, which is why it's so important for you to guard these surprises coming towards you. You have this infinite abundance coming towards you, more money than you expected, an inheritance of some sort, an increase in material prosperity that takes you by complete surprise. And because you'll be so surprised, don't feel bad about it. Don't allow for people to make you feel like you owe them anything, because you don't, group number 4, and you are being called to protect your assets at all costs, or else you may regret it. I see here with the vine that you are being called to seek out information that will help you. Educate yourself, financially speaking. Become financially literate, and the best way for you to do that is to start reading books about personal finances. And group 4, they're not all boring. A lot of them are written in a very entertaining and fun way, yet they're very direct and honest. And I highly recommend that you invest in some books, or just invest some of your time into educating yourself about how to make the smartest financial decisions possible. Because trust me, group 4, you will thank me and yourself in the long run. There's so many misinformed people, and I can see here within the Dark Man and the cat that this person may try to get you to invest in a business opportunity or stocks or NFT. I mean, whatever the story may be, with promises of this quadrupling or just increasing your wealth at the end of the day, which is why it's important for you to educate yourself so you know exactly what other people are talking about, and you know whether they're actually giving you advice that is helpful or whether they're full of ish, if you know what I mean, group 4. Furthermore, it will also allow for you to confidently strike when the iron is hot, when you have an amazing opportunity right before you, without second guessing and questioning whether you have the necessary knowledge to make such decisions. Next up, we've got the Hawk Spirit. In the Hawk Spirit, I can see that some unexpected surprises coming towards you have to do with simply allowing for spirit to be your guide, and to remember here that sometimes you don't really need to make any big decisions. You just need to go with the flow and remind yourself that your commitment will be recognized in the right moment. And working hard for a long period of time, sometimes even for free, is necessary. There's no other way to put it, especially when you're working on some sort of passion project, be it music or art or a different business venture. Know here within the Dragonfly Spirit that in time, truth will transcend illusion, and you will start to find your tribe slowly but surely. An important number for you is also the number 2, group 4, because the Hawk Spirit connects to the number 32, and the Dragonfly Spirit connects to the number 22, which is a master number. We've had the number 2 show up 3 times already within these 2 cards. So make sure that if you're looking for synchronicity, anything with the number 2 or 222 is for you. Next up, we've got the Rhino Spirit. The Rhino Spirit shows me that you're able to overcome any obstacles that are being put in your way or on your path. This is also one thing that connects beautifully with Lord Ganesh and infinite abundance and obstacles being cleared. You're not even going to have to fight or necessarily be in any situation of friction when there's obstacles. They will seem to just evaporate on their own without you paying too much mind to them. And furthermore, we've got the Koala Spirit, which is assuring you that your guides and spirit has a plan. Have you ever noticed, group number 4, that when you feel as though everything is falling apart and like you're in a really tough spot and situation, while things may be tough, somehow everything always works out? Well, that's exactly what I want you to know here with the Koala Spirit and the Hawk Spirit that you're being reminded of by your guides. In the end, everything will work out for you. Don't overthink things and don't stress. The universe and your guides have this magical, fabulous way of somehow figuring out a way, a path, and a good solution for you in order to get to the next stage and cycle in your life where you can thrive and where you can feel as though life is back in a spot where you can simply enjoy, be loved, as well as spread love. I can see within the Shungite that a big surprise coming for you is a detox. Think to yourself embarking on a detox journey by, for example, removing any alcohol or any type of caffeine from your diet, doing an actual detox where you're maybe doing a juice cleanse, only drinking green juices, only having plant-based foods, whatever your detox looks like, because we're all coming from different backgrounds with our bodies and what our bodies can tolerate and what not. Know here within the Shungite that detoxing your life is going to come as a surprise into your space pretty soon, and maybe from necessity, because I do see here within the Dragonfly Spirit as well as Krishna that you're being called to devote yourself to something that isn't easy to do and requires discipline. So because there is an area of your life that requires more discipline than you've been giving it, than you've been able to devote towards it, you are going to end up trying to practice discipline in another area of life in hopes of that energy seeping through the different layers of your existence and facets in your life and having an overall positive effect. Just as waking up in the morning and first thing doing your bed or working out has a positive ripple effect throughout your day, you find that you are more focused, you feel more confident, you're maybe eating more healthily. That's what I'm speaking of here within the Shungite, Krishna, and the Dragonfly Spirit, as you start to understand that the more that you truthfully believe in yourself and also trust that you will get things done, the more you're actually able to find abundance within life, but also the ambition and the courage to follow through with things. The citrine is another indicator, another indication of abundance. If you would like to attract more abundance into your life, I highly recommend that you wear citrine jewelry. I do have some citrine rings rings, earrings, and necklaces in my online store. It's linked below, but there's so many other ways in which you can carry citrine with you. Maybe you already have a piece of citrine in your home, and maybe it's small enough for you to put it into your wallet or into the pocket of your jacket and carry it with you, as this is a crystal that brings the frequency of light and energy into your life and your space. So this is also a crystal that, by the way, never needs to be cleansed. But let's move on to the malachite. The malachite speaks of transformation. It is time for transformation. That's what your guides are saying here. And it comes as a surprise because I can see that you felt like you were on track and going to this next place in your life, like you knew where you were going. But in fact, there is a little transformation that needs to take place first before you can continue on with any type of speed, so to say. So life may slow down a little bit, group number 4, and that may come as a surprise as you thought that, well, obstacles were being cleared and you're moving forward in a manner of actually knowing where you're going. But the malachite shows me that you're destined for greater endeavors, so that's why you have some more transformation that's taking place, and therefore things are slowing down a little for you to become very clear about what you want in your life, as well as what your life purpose truly is. We've got the crop circles. You're receiving messages, some sort of signs from the universe. We had the number 2 that is significant for you when it comes to allowing spirit to be your guide and a truth transcending illusion. So if you really want to know the truth for yourself, look out for the repetition of the number 2. I do want you to also know here with the crop circle that we have the number 27, so we've got a 2 in there as well, whereas the number 7 is a number of, in a sense, solitude, independence, doing things your own way, being very intelligent, but also unafraid to allow for loner tendencies to take over and therefore being more introverted. I do see with the crop circles that you have this sense of feeling like there's so much more to this world and the universe than science or just us as humanity as a whole have figured out up until this point. You feel like there's so many great mysteries and secrets that have yet to be uncovered, and you are definitely devoting a lot of time to that. I see here within the MIB that you're being called to be really careful when it comes to the information that you're seeking out, whether it's about extraterrestrials, different types of spiritual ways in which you can lead your life and in which you can find more quote-unquote enlightenment or information. Be very careful, as the MIB states, that there are some people who may try to intimidate you or talk you into something that is cult-like, but it's so important that you remain in a place of free will, as well as being able to discern for yourself what you want to take on board and what not, because you want for your curiosity to add to your life, right? You want for the signs and the messages to be able to come through and for you to be able to decipher, unravel, and understand them in a way that makes sense for you, not in a way that makes sense for a different movement or other people or a different type of spiritual tribe or religion. It's important that things make sense to you, and if they don't and people try to intimidate you into their ways, you know you need to leave, group number 4. As I can see here within the Syrians A, you're an artistic person who is meant to be in an eclectic environment where everyone can be themselves, and you too have the option and possibility to change your mind whenever you want. And that does not take away from your integrity. That actually lends you more integrity, because it shows here that you're never set in stone. You are open-minded enough to reconsider that what you've believed up until one point doesn't have to be true forever, because as science as well as as us humans continue to find new pieces of information and continue to put these pieces of information together in a way that makes sense, I can see that because you're a super honest person, you are not afraid to change your opinion or change your mind depending on the latest findings as well as the latest proof. Next up, we've got the Andromedans. In the Andromedans, I can see here that free will is the most important thing for you. So some unexpected surprises that are coming for you is when you find that actually a lot of people don't have any free will at all. They may not even realize this, but you see this, group number 4, and in a sense it saddens you and it also scares you. I see in the Andromedans that you've built a lot of things off of manifestation, off of thinking, believing, and attracting. And to some people it may seem really far-fetched, or they may not understand that everything has a vibration, whether it's a human being that enters a room where you can already feel if that person is making the air really stuffy and thick, or bringing in good approachable energy, or whether it is attracting things and understanding energy in the sense of an animal and feeling when an animal has good energy, and also seeing that that animal can sense your energy and your intentions. So the whole energetic frequency and vibration thing goes without say for you and is something that makes sense to you because you're a pretty sensitive person. So if someone is in a bad mood or someone is hiding something, you can feel it. But a lot of people aren't as connected to their body and their intuition as you are, group number 4, and you're coming to understand this more and more, and that makes you even more thankful for your autonomy and your free will, and you want to inspire others to do the same. Any type of organization or any type of groups that try to intimidate you or that try to take away that autonomy are going to be faced with a lot of rebellious energy by you, because you're not cool with that and you don't want that. You do not want to live in existence where freedom of speech or free will is not permitted or is in some way, shape, or form undermined. So I do want you to know here that a bit of a rebellious streak coming out from you within the next little bit may surprise you, but it goes without say, because you're not meant to be boxed in. You're not meant to be put in some sort of drawer and kept there. I can see here within the bread that we've got a period of prosperity and abundance that's coming towards you. So I want you to know here that we've got a lot of abundance within your reading, group number 4. A lot of surprises in the sense of abundance that you did not expect. And this abundance that you did not expect is definitely because you're so devoted to your beliefs and also to bettering yourself, to constantly growing. Within the charms that I have here for you, we've got the fish, the horseshoe, as well as the tree. So I can see amazing luck as well as prosperity within the fish and the horseshoe, but also that you still have a bit of a journey ahead of you, whereas within the tree I can see a lot of wisdom, but also you standing your ground, because you're not afraid of any type of weather or difficulty that may come towards you. You feel brave and strong and like you're ready to take on basically anything. Next up, we've got some tools as well as the peace sign. You're constantly working on creating more peace as well as overall an environment of acceptance around you. And you feel as though peace is something that can be worked on constantly and that we should never give up on. Yes, the world may not be perfect and there are lots of things going on within this world that are shameful, to say the least, group number 4, but at the same time, you're not losing hope, and you know here that there are still a lot of people who are devoted to being good people, to being caring people, people who want to live in a world where everyone has the freedom to express themselves, to believe in whatever they want to believe in, regardless of their ethnic, cultural, or economic background. Next up, we've got illumination. Okay, you're going into the depths of a lot of theories. Dare I even say some conspiracy theories, as we did have the crop circles here. And I want you to leave a little alien emoji down below in the comment section if you made it all the way to this point of your reading. Group number 4, you're a real one, and I hope that you're subscribed to my channel because we clearly vibe with one another, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on any more information. Oh, I thought we had a card that flipped upside down, but we don't. So let's pick one for you. Group number 4, we've got success. So within success, this is in addition to the abundance coming towards you, but also the fact that because you are not only open-minded, but you will stand up for your own freedom and your autonomy, you're going to be successful when it comes to that. And it's overall a time of you also sharing with other people that the more they stand up for themselves, the more other people will understand that they can't intimidate them. They cannot scare a group of people who is growing in numbers every single day that simply just wants to live their best life, believe in whatever they want to believe in, not hurt anybody, and just live a fabulous existence. I see here within sweetness that some unexpected surprises coming for you is definitely some sweetness from a place you didn't expect it. So a lover or someone who is romantically interested in you, giving you some extra attention, paying you a few extra compliments that you are definitely not going to decline and you're definitely not mad about. Group number 4. And I do see here within the strength card that you're also receiving lots of compliments of your strength, that on one hand you have a side to you that is very sweet and caring, but then on the other hand you also have a side to you that is very strong, and that can live hand in hand. You don't have to decide to either be strong or sweet. You don't have to decide between being someone who is well respected and being someone who can be nurturing and who can communicate with people on this type of basic human level that allows for everyone to feel comfortable no matter what background that they're from. So you have a great future when it comes to counseling, just working in some sort of caring type of work in the medical field, or teaching for that matter, because you don't create any differences or discrepancies between people based on their background. You allow for people to be really open with you right off the get-go, and you don't judge them. The World card is actually the most positive card within the tarot. Have we had a tarot deck? No, we have not. These are all Oracle decks. Group number 4. We have not used a tarot deck so far. Until now, this is a tarot deck. We received the World card right as the very first card in the tarot deck, which is a card of completion, of happiness, of wanting for nothing, having everything that you need, and having the world really as your oyster. Group number 4. So this is an amazing symbol to show up within your prediction, and it's coming as a huge surprise because you didn't expect all of this for yourself, but you've got so much bounty and abundance coming towards you. The 4 of Swords shows me some overthinking. The 4 of Swords shows me here that when it comes to feeling safe and secure, you still have a little bit of work that you can do in order to get comfortable in this newfound place of fulfillment and feeling like you're wanting and needing for nothing, like you've got everything, but you will slowly but surely get comfortable understanding here that you're destined for greater things than you ever expected. That yes, you are kind of a mediator like we spoke about at the beginning with the mice and the elephant, and that sometimes you will have to stand up to 2 people who are arguing and tell them that they're being a little childish and that this needs to stop because it is affecting the people around them, including you. Furthermore, I do see that when it comes to earthly abundance, that is the main thing we've got here in the 4 of Swords, where you're a little worried. You don't want for people to feel as though you've changed just because maybe your bank account or the number in your bank account has changed, or your financial or socioeconomic status has transformed a little. So that is where you're overthinking. Remind yourself here that friends who really matter and who are truly capable of having your back will never judge you, and they will never think differently of you just because you have grown when it comes to material abundance or success. Furthermore, we've got some big surprises that are coming towards you, with a lot of these conspiracy theories revealing truths to you that you weren't aware of, or just overall helping you make connections in the world that you did not think were there or were never aware of. And that's not necessarily because you're just blindly believing what's being said. You are experiencing a lot of these things yourself that have been discredited by some scientists, but at the same time seem a little odd, a little strange. So there's a lot of illumination happening. There's a lot of you just simply being open and exploring the depths of lots of different areas of life and this world, exploring different ways of thinking without getting too deep into anything. So simply just being curious. And I want you to know here within the Shungite that detoxes a lot of negative energy and entities from your life. So you will be surprised at how much clearly you can see people and read people once you have been able to delve into different forms of life and different theories that people have come up with, different ways of expressing spirituality, whether it's a Western way or an Eastern way or a traditional African way. There's so many different tribes and cultures and things that all play together in how we are the humans that we are today. And the more you get to know everyone, everything, and different aspects and variants of human beings, the more you also get to know yourself, because you start to make connections about why you are the person that you are today and what type of experiences or even traumas shaped your growth or stunted your growth even. What type of experiences turned you into who you are today? And while not every experience may have been pleasurable or may have been a healthy one, it still turned you into who you are today. And that's something that you're proud of. And in most instances, you wouldn't change for the world, because it has actually given you the strength that you needed to get through other situations through which you maybe wouldn't have been able to get through if you hadn't known your strength from an experience prior to a difficult one that you were able to push through, an obstacle that you were able to overcome, like we spoke about here within the Rhino Spirit. So group 4, we are at the end of your reading, and I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Feel free to let me know down below in the comment section. Make sure that you left that alien emoji down below just to let me and others know that you were here, that you made it all the way through to the end, that you're a real one and that it resonated with you. Thank you so much for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions.